So the question was posed in a forum: if someone had a series of batch comps that needed to have text and logos replaced, how would you go about that? So I was considering my personal options, and I came up with basically 3 ideas. With the tool the script that I use for mine, it's batch layers by name. This is version 1.4, which will handle a CSV file and produce it either through rendering in After Effects or send them straight to Media Encoder. Or I can even duplicate the comps and render as I so choose. But I would have 3 options. First of all, I could make individual comps with each logo already prepared and then batch replace the text. Number 2, I could set it up one comp with an image sequence, and then the logos would be in that one frame each layer, sequenced out, and then call that through via a slider. Or one comp with a drop-down menu and a slider controller. And that's what I will show, a derivative of number 2 or number 3. So within this, we're going to call it LT, just an abbreviation for lower third, a completely fictitious made-up name. Let's just zoom in just a tad bit. So if we have a player, and we'll call their position, and then we would have a logo that we would need to replace. How would I go about setting that up? So in my script, it works by replacing the source text. So the way that this one is particularly set up is that we have a column within our CSV file that's going to be called player. That would correspond to our player's name. We have the position, which of course could be any derivative or designation that we so choose. Then we have what I call logo number, and there are hidden lines here. I set this up as a menu with Smart Menu from Media, and if I unhide that, then you see all of the logos are set in layers 12 through 20. And then within my control layer, then I set up this drop-down menu, and we can of course go through here and set them up, but these are going to be run through a slider that's within an expression that we will then now assign that to a numerical number. So let's take a look at the Excel sheet on this. So within this, these are set up to tell it to render, and our first column, second column, is the name of the comp itself. So if there was the first route would be to have all kinds of different comps set up with the logos that are separate. So if it be a team value, you might want to have 2 different ones. If it's going to be team A, team B, and you would then have that comp set up. And the way that then I have these orange columns are, which order do I want them when they're actually, this is more producing the file name. And so that's just my personal preference. That way it's chronological when it comes out. Then we have the output module and the render settings, and mine are set up with an alpha channel. Within the columns that are going to be replaced, we have the player, So this column designation will be to the layer player. The position, of course, then would go to the layer position. Then within this one, these are the individual logos that I've actually set up further in this sheet, cross-comparing with the 8 different logos that we have set up. As you can see, they're listed here. But then what I did from there is then I give each of those a particular layer number designation, and then that is the logo number. Because they are not done by their name, these are PNG files, so they pull it up from the number. Then I copy all of these into a text file and then pull that up from my script. And then within this, then I can preview each one of these. As you can see that there's going to be 8 lines that we have set up. But previewing just through the next name, and as you see the logo changed, so as well as the player and the position, but the logo will then take the designation that we set up in our data sheet. Moving further through, then all of them keep up. That would be just a little bit of homework that is to be done in advance. Getting your setup. Very simple, but it does efficiently do the work. Place all the logos or the pictures in that case, if it would be a actual photo of the player themselves, in place. But the workaround for me would be the setting up a logo number. If I turn it on, you can see that it actually does appear on the screen, but it doesn't even have to be visible. It will, the expression will grab that number and put in the proper sequence in its place. Anyway, that is the idea that I had to, if it was my assignment to do hundreds of these, I of course would have to have them automated. That would drive me absolutely crazy. And so this tool, Batch Layers by name, version 1.5, might be an option to help and automate it. Anyway, that's the way we look at it. Thanks for your time.